Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I came across some video about this Mizzy guy from the dumbass prankster from I think it's from the UK. Yeah, and this is like months ago, so I didn't even know about it. But I'm just gonna react to it because it was interesting, at least, this interview. Apparently this host got crazy. Well, not got crazy, got angry at the guy, and the guy walked off. So I want to see basically how that happened. Man, I watched a little bit of it, and I seen what the Mizzy guy was saying, and yeah, I want to keep. Let's watch it. Let's watch it. Obviously, this is like, I'm not sure if this is even popular or anything like that. I'm just reacting because it has interesting points, or just about society in general. So let's check it out.
I'm Danielle Nichols, this is Andre Walker, and we have a very special guest in the studio.
Yes, that's right. It's fair to say the man that offended Piers Morgan more than anybody else I can think of is in the studio with us. He's one of the biggest TikTok stars. He's controversial. He's been in court a couple of times recently for some of the pranks he's been up to. But it's Mizzy. Mizzy, welcome.
Hello, Ward.
How are you?
I'm good.
He's moody.
He's a bit moody.
Why are you upset?
Because I have a message
Off,
What's
to
your
the whole
message?
world. So you see, you guys right now, you're using a script in it. You're basically working a job at the end of the day. No script.
No, it's not a script.
No, we don't use scripts.
I have a script here.
Oh.
Yeah.
He does have a script.
I'm a man with a script. I'm an actor at the end of the day. I'm an
Right,
actor
go
with
for
a
it.
script.
Okay.
And I have something I want to say.
Go for it.
This is a message to everyone. And to get where I am right now to spread this message, I needed to do things in a different way. In a way a lot of people wouldn't agree on. I have remorse, and I know when to take accountability for my actions in my personal life, when I'm Bakari, not when I'm showing you Mizzy on the internet. I don't condone what I do, nor do I tell anyone to repeat any of my actions. People need to understand and learn to detach social media from real life. As social media is just one big game. And Mizzy, this online persona I created, is literally social proof that society is weak and that the public is manipulated by media and swayed away from the truth so easily. Attention is seen as the purest form of generosity, and Mizzy is exactly what is wrong with this new online modern day society. You're all capitalizing on Mizzy right now. This interview literally has Mizzy on the headlines, bro, and you're making money over my appeal to the public, whether it's good or bad. Think about it. The only reason I've been making news and headlines for so long is because I'm young, black, and doing something different. And the mainstream media think they can use me as an example, put me on TV so I can make a fool out of myself and appeal to the stereotype. It's a simple distraction technique used by the mainstream media to divert attention from the real problems in this country. If I wasn't the TikTok terror or done what I needed to do, would I be on this show right now or even on Piers Morgan? It's all propaganda at the end of the day. All these online personalities have had their own fair share of controversies, worse than mine even, and still have a platform, and that's because we give it to them with any type of attention. I'm just a teen from these rough areas. As journalists, it's your job to be highlighting the misery of people in this country and figuring out what their causes are instead of bringing some TikToker that makes silly pranks onto your show for views and ratings. It's all about painting a picture in your mind. Mainstream media have been doing it for years, and they get their paycheck by writing numerous articles, posting controversial videos, and twisting stories to change the audience's narrative. The movement is real.
Okay, Mizzy, there's loads of stuff.
So let's stop there basically for a while. So what he was saying, basically, it is true. Years ago, before social media was like a major thing, because social media was there like for maybe decades. Yeah, decades. But at the beginning, it was more like a young people thing, and it wasn't really that big generally, or not ingrained in our lives. But now it is, and what he's saying is completely true. It is crazy how him and his dumbass actions made him like so popular, and people are bringing him into shows like this. And Piers Morgan is the one I've seen. I think I've seen a bit of it, not the whole thing. But he's becoming popular because of what he done. Sorry. So the only thing I know he's done is he walked into someone's house. I don't think he did anything. He just walked in for no reason, and obviously anyone would get scared of that. It's nothing. It is scary. Like someone just random person just going in your house. If you're not used to it. There was once me and my family, we went to a trip outside of, we live in Scotland, and we went to South US, which is an island in Scotland. When we went there, we stayed with like basically a friend of my dad's from work. He kind of invited us to their house there. And in the morning, we woke up and, like after sleeping when we first got there, we woke up and then we were just sitting watching TV eating. And suddenly the front door opens and some random guy just comes in. And it was the postman, you know. The postman just walked in, left the letters in the table, said hi, and then left. You know, like you would never see this in the city, you know, because people are there are used to it. They're like houses like every so often, like every few miles, there's like a group of houses. So people are used to this, you know, they're more friendly, etc. But in the city, obviously, it would be scary, and that's what happened there. The second thing I know he's done was like for some reason he tried to jump over someone who was just standing in the in the pavement. And he just kind of like tripped them, you know, like they fell. I don't know like if he was an old person or not, but regardless, it's just a dumb thing to do. Anyway, they became famous of that, and what he's saying obviously is shows like this and Piers Morgan, they bring in people like him, who just dumbasses on social media, that for views, etc. And there's no debate about that. But like, is like it's obvious, you know. Obviously, a few years ago, like I said, a few years ago when things weren't as popular, like social media wasn't as like prevalent in our lives, you could say something like, that's bullshit, that's a conspiracy or something like that. But now it's not. It's like it's literally part of life. I mean, like how many, like so many times I see idiots come on interviews like this for absolutely no reason. I mean, it's like the Piers Morgan, for example. I don't know the show. I don't know about them. I don't know what they do usually. But Piers Morgan, for example, usually brings recently with the Palestine and Israel, he brought a lot of people from both sides, etc. And then you have, and even before that, he brought a lot of like the LGBTQ and gender neutral or gender issues. He brought people for that. And then he brings people like this from TikTok. Like it's too weird. Like what is the purpose of that show? It's just to get views, really. Like otherwise they would just concentrate on one thing or something serious at least. Like the war in Palestine and Israel, nothing. I don't know. Just like it seems like it's just bullshit. So in terms of that, like what he was saying is true. Obviously, it doesn't say anything about what he does, what he did anyway. He says like I had to do this to show this. That's bullshit. If it's one of the two things. If he actually did all of that, kind of like as a social experiment to show this because he was black, and he did these things, basically became famous, or he did that to become famous and now he's just using this like this bullshit as an excuse. Either way, it's idiotic. If he actually did it as an experiment, he's even more of an idiot, because just doing that, people are not gonna look at the issues, because in doing like what he did, he harmed people, he scared people and harmed them. That's not normal. That puts a bad image on black people generally. So like it just literally did the exact opposite. Like it's just an idiotic way of doing it. If that's actually what he wanted to do. But anyway, let's keep going.
That's to unpick in that. And the first question I would ask you is, do you feel that the reason you've done all this is because you've been stereotyped based on your working class background, based on coming from Hackney, and based on being a young black man in London?
You can say that, yes, because there's been many other pranksters that do worse things than me. There's guys that are doing, like, I don't even know what I can say on here, but there's guys that are doing rape pranks out here, and they still have a platform to share their message. And I don't understand that, because I have an actual message I'm willing to share.
I have seen some bad pranks.
I watched one thing. I watched one thing that you did, which genuinely did get me thinking. Because I think you're a clever guy, and I think actually there is a message behind it. I genuinely believe that. When you walked into that very
that's bullshit. Yeah. He does not genuinely believe that. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, just idiotic. Anyway.
Wealthy person's house, you can apologise all day, but part of the show.
This is more like like letting the interview flow. I'm pretty sure that's what. Otherwise, like the Mizzy guy would not open up. If he's showing this guy like empathy. It's bullshit. This guy does not believe him. It's bullshit.
shock of it was a young black man walking into a wealthy person's house. That's what I took from it, and I thought that potentially you were attempting to highlight racism by that prank.
Literally, essentially, in a nutshell, that's what it is. Because that's what I was trying to.
He's pissing me off, this guy. Look at the way he's putting his hands. You know, that's a deliberate posture, you know, to make himself look smart or distinguished or something. I don't know, man. But he looks like an idiot. Because that annoys me. But anyway, let's go back to that guy, the Andre Walker. I don't believe he actually believes this guy had a point. I'm pretty sure he doesn't. He just wanted to get the things flowing, you know. But like I said, if anyone walks into someone's house unannounced and uninvited, people will get scared. Now, let's not lie and say, you know, him being black wasn't a major issue, you know, or major factor in the shock of the person living there, you know. At least it basically it helps exaggerate the effect of it, you know. But regardless, anyone walking in there, or black or white or whatever, uninvited, people will get scared. Them being black might add to it, possibly. I don't believe it's most likely that it did. But that's a stupid way of doing it. Like a stupid way of showing it, because that's not. It's not like race specific. Anyone breaking into someone's house will scare them. You know, that shows nothing. Just a dumbass way. But anyway.
On Piers Morgan. That's why I mentioned the black card, or race card, whatever you might want to say. I was trying to say that if a white person done that and called it a prank, made it a trend and whatever, it wouldn't have gone this far. It wouldn't have been on Piers Morgan. It wouldn't have been news headlines. Press wouldn't be outside my house. All of that stuff.
Okay, well, should we have a look at the
second, before we do that, if you and me had walked into somebody's house and gone, we think that, is this the place where the study group is? They wouldn't have been as shocked, would they? I genuinely believe that. But anyway, it did solicit a response from Piers Morgan, who, it's fair to say, Mizzy, didn't like it quite as much as I did. Here's what's happened on the Piers Morgan show.
Tell me about your life. What justifies this? What's happened to you that makes you think you're justified in doing this?
What do you mean, tell me about my life?
Well, you said you know nothing about your life. Tell me about your life.
Because I'm trying to get onto you because I'm black. Because I guarantee...
Because you're black?
Person, yeah, I guarantee...
I don't give a damn about your skin colour.
Really?
No, why would I care what colour your skin is? Really? I just think you're an idiot.
Oh, thank you. I think you're an idiot too.
That's fine. You're perfectly entitled to.
It's very interesting that you say that, though, because I think if a young lad walked into my house as confidently and as brazenly as you did, without like asking the lady in the front garden, is this where the study group is or whatever, I would be nervous still. Because I would assume that someone coming into my house where my kids were, my assumption would be that you wanted to take something from me, like my car keys or anything like that. That's what I would be nervous about.
But isn't that also a commentary on the fact that young people have a bad reputation? It's not just the.
That's what Mizzy is trying to represent. Like there's been many other Mizzys before. Mizzy's an online social media persona, like I'm trying to portray.
But do you think it's okay to frighten people in the way that you frighten people? Because what I will say is this, you're not picking on, like when you nicked the dog, you didn't pick on a big strapping bloke, did you, Mizzy? You picked on an old lady.
Even that situation got out of perspective. In real life, I was going to take the dog anyway and give it back regardless, because the dog took our chips. We're sitting in the middle of the park, me and my friends, and she was like to us...
Okay, well, that's interesting you say that, though.
His hand like this... It's really pissing me off. Like, this is... It does not fit him. He's trying to make himself look... I don't know, it's just an idiotic... Oh my God. Yeah, whatever he wants to do, if he actually wants to show, you know, like the social injustice, etc., he's not the person to do it. You know, not at this age, whatever age. He looks young. It's not... This is not it. It literally just pisses people off. So it does not work. So just let it be. So, just an idiot, man. It's just really pissing me off, man.
Chat to you about that. Let's have a look at the dog clip.
Hello.
Hi.
You got a nice dog?
Sorry?
You got a nice dog?
She's lovely. She's yes.
Gang, whole lot of gang.
Really?
Anyone that... I know around where we live, if you've got a nice dog, everyone's really nervous about this because dogs are getting nicked. That does happen. money, that people's dogs are being stolen, and it's upsetting, disturbing, and just downright
And you
wrong.
have that emotional attachment
You
to a lot
do,
of your
because it's your
dogs
dog,
as
and
well.
people,
Yeah.
you know, they're part of people's family. But what?
Just feeling left out now.
It's interesting.
That other girl just leaving feeling left out. But anyway, I'm not gonna lie and say basically if it was a white person doing all of that stuff, I don't think it would have been that big. No, not this big anyway. That is true. But once again, he has no point. Like he literally has no point. He just made black people look worse. That's it. That's literally it. It's just an idiotic thing. I swear to God. If he did something, I don't know. I don't even know. I can't even give an example. But he needs to do something that's not, well, basically criminal. He's like stealing and breaking into people's houses. It's just something else. Something that is not criminal, that would look criminal just because he's black. That's at least that's something, you know. That's something to start with. But he's actually literally just doing criminal things and hurting people. Like, that's just idiot, man. It's just man. Anyway,
You say you were with your mates, because is it fair to say that when you're a young lad and do you think you're being goaded on by your mates to do
Yeah,
things
like
that you
I
maybe
fully
wouldn't
know
do?
that I'm my own person in it, and I will do what I want to do. So if I didn't want to do it, I wouldn't have done it. But when you're with your friends and you're young and you're just hyped up and you're living in the moment, you get, like, sometimes you get a hold of yourself, innit? And you don't know what you're doing at the time. Everyone makes mistakes, and when you're young, you make the most mistakes.
And one of the
Absolutely.
things
when you were young, was that like years ago? The video, I don't understand. And that's the contradiction here. You know, he with this dumbass hand is really pissing me off. I swear to you have no idea. I swear. So you know, like it's not even subtle. This is supposed to be subtle to actually work, but right now it's literally just pissing me off. But anyway, the contradiction here is the way he's just trying to talk, even though it's not actually working. You can see him going in and out of, like, you know, proper speech, and then just, you know, like a, what's it, colloquial? I don't know, but just his normal accent. And what we literally just saw in the video, and him saying, like, young people will do young people things. Like, how old is he? You know, like, he is still young. I don't know, he's just contradicting himself anyway.
things that you did say you made a mistake on
It's gonna be a long video. I don't think it's gonna get views or anything like that, but I don't care.
was the walking into the house, which we alluded to before. Let's have a quick look at that.
Okay.
James, come to the front door right now, please.
James?
James.
You man from?
Hello, James.
We need to speak to James.
James.
It doesn't matter how you wrap that up. If someone just walked into my house like that, I would be scared. I'd be scared, and
Bruv, I would smack him. Like, kind of, bruv, he did it for views. He did it for fame. That's just clearly what it is. You should just see in his face, like, when he was doing it. It's just, bruv, he's doing it for views. And then the idiot is coming here trying to act like it was a social experiment. Even if, I swear to, even if he intended for it to be a social experiment, like I said, he's an idiot beyond idiots. I swear, oh my God.
especially if my kids were in there.
I mean, it happened to me once. I remember once I used to smoke cigars in my house. How pretentious does that sound?
Oh, wow.
I smoked cigars in my house. I left the door open, and a couple of guys walked in who thought there was a house party. They'd got the wrong address. It is very intimidating. I mean, Mizzy, you apologised to that family, didn't you?
I don't know what he's doing, like, this presenter. He's making fun of, like, him smoking cigars. That's pretentious. Bro, he's wearing a three-piece suit with a bow tie. Like, oh, come on. You obviously are pretentious, but I don't know, man. He's pissing me off too. Not more than this guy, but, you know.
Did you apologise?
Yes, I did.
You
I went there the
apologised?
next day on my own accord. Because, like I said, social media is like a
What was he
facade.
looking
Like,
at?
it's literally a game. Yeah. On my own accord. Because, like I said,
Yes.
You apologised to that family, didn't you?
Did you apologise?
What is he looking
yes,
at?
I did.
You
I went there the
apologised?
next day on my own accord. Because, like I said, social media is like a facade. Like, it's literally a game. Yeah. On my own accord, I went to the house the next day and apologised and took accountability for my actions. I could have recorded the apology, could have posted it for clout, more clout, whatever. Internet. It's not about the internet. It goes
What do
to
you want to say when you apologise?
Because the apology would have been for clout? No shit, no chance. But it's like him doing something that will give views. Him apologizing will take away from him what he did to get famous. So he wouldn't have done it. He wouldn't have wanted to record it anyway. Anyway.
Yes, Missy, what did she say?
She was like, we had a conversation. She was telling me about her distress and how like she had kids in the house. At the time when I was doing it, I didn't see that there was a kid there until.
He's really pissing me off. Like, what kind of idiot is this? I didn't see a kid in the house. What, did you surveil the whole house before you went in? Don't act like that was even in your mind. Some bullshit, I swear to God.
James mentioned, oh, we got kids, and I left straight away because I have a child myself.
Mizzy, can I just ask you?
You have a child? How old is he?
One question. You've come in here, you seem like a nice bloke to me, but you seem upset about something. Do you feel that people have mistreated you?
Yes, you can say that, but it's all just part of a bigger plan.
And how do you feel people have mistreated you?
Because the way I portrayed myself is essentially my fault at the end of the day, but it's all part of a plan.
I mean, the reality is, you've said that you're somebody who understands the consequence of your actions, and I think there's certainly some truth in that, because of course the consequence of your actions are that you become a megastar. There's no doubt about it. Young people all over this country know who you are, but at the same time, you've got to recognise the significant harm you've done, because this is effectively bullying people on TV. You know, you're clearly an intelligent guy. You're an intimidating guy when you give the sort of look or whatever. But look, you know, when you steal somebody's dog, when you walk into somebody's house, those people are frightened. And by the way, you didn't vault a Jewish person. You pushed a guy into the road. And that, I have to say, is something that if I was just stood at a bus stop and I got shoved into the road by somebody, it wouldn't be about black or white, young or old. I'd have been shoved into the road. I'm very upset. I just wonder whether you are part of a culture that is so selfish, that says that, you know, what makes me famous, what gets me into the newspapers, what gets me on TV is more important than the suffering that...
That's a weird way to ask this question, for sure. That's not the way to ask this question. If you are part of the culture that does what? That's not the way to ask the question. I don't know. Anyway.
that causes me to get there.
Like, his demeanor is being so sincere, but what he's saying is like, what? That's stupid. What kind of question is that? Why would anyone answer that without being like enraged? You know, obviously he said it in a way to make the guy angry or to reply. You know, that's just his tactics. You know, what kind of are you part of the culture that kills people? You know, like, who would ask something like that? You know, obviously it's not what he said, but it's like basically the same. That's dumb. Anyway, I don't know. It's obviously, it's just for show, man.
Could you have pranked your mates and not been pranking the public?
See, this
so
guy's
that
playing
you
along
can
with
do
it.
your pranks.
This guy's playing along with it, obviously.
You can have your ideas, but you do it with your mates.
I mean, look, you're staring at me, but I think it's a legitimate question, isn't it?
I've got a question for you, Mizzy. Now, do you think that social media itself has pushed you to sort of make this point in itself? I mean, I know you're talking about anti-racism. You're effectively what I would say you're attempting to be an anti-racism campaigner, right? You're essentially trying to tell people that racism has meant that you have experienced a particular kind of backlash that other people haven't. Would you say that's right?
Essentially, yes.
Are you, hang on a second, are you somebody who will only answer questions if they go your way?
No.
Okay, so in that case, can you answer my question about whether you believe that you are part of a narcissistic society that...
This guy's coming back to me. But is this guy dumb? It's not about a question going your way. It's supposed to be a neutral question. This is not a neutral question. What kind of dumb... Like, this guy's an idiot. He obviously needs the views, bro. That's the only way why he asked a question like that. That's not a neutral question. Like... Anyway.
That is willing to take the benefit from notoriety, but not willing to accept the damage that's done in the creation of that notoriety.
The way I would ask the question is just generally the culture of social media. Is it like this? And then he can answer without talking about himself, you know? And that would be like an implication of like, I don't know, you can move the thing forward at least. But this is a dumbass question. And this guy is like saying, oh, you're only answering because he goes your way. Look, what? That other woman, like, she took the chance to correct the question so she can actually move the interview forward. That was a good question. You know, obviously, like, the whole interview is a dumb interview anyway. But she took the chance and she corrected the question in a way that the guy can answer without feeling attacked. You know what I mean? But this guy wants. No, I don't know. I need to just keep going.
I've accepted the damage I've done. I went to prison for a couple of days and whatnot. I literally accept, like I'm saying, Mizzy and Bakari are two different. Bakari's the mastermind behind Mizzy. In real life, I know what Mizzy's doing is going to cause real life consequences and actions. I've been on tag. I'm on tag for a year right now. I understand that it's going to cause real life problems, but that's not the bigger. There's a bigger issue at hand here. Why am I even here? We're actually talking for a while. Why am I here? You could be talking about anything else. Train strikes, world hunger, anything.
Because you've caused a lot of people to be very upset. Yeah. That's why you're here. And that's why you're so famous.
There is a real
concern. Because you've caused a lot of people.
Let's just be clear. There is a real concern here.
No. He didn't cause a lot of people a lot of harm. He did cause people harm, but not enough to be in the news. Like nowhere near. The problem is they want to be part of it's so obvious, man. Come on. They want to be part of anyway, the fame. But anyway.
That social media is projecting people to the top who actually are behaving in a way that's unacceptable in our society. Look, if you're attempting to make a protest, make a protest. I understand that. You saw me debate with Animal Rebellion a second ago about the fact that they should be holding placards rather than attempting to stop the Epsom Derby. My worry, and it is a real worry, is that somebody like you who's clever, somebody like you who's able, somebody like you who has access to social media and is capable of doing all sorts of things, is instead being pushed into the notoriety of criminality in order to get where you are in society. I think it's really dangerous, and I think that whether you yourself are a good or bad person, what you represent is very, very bad.
That's a good question, because it's a good question, because he's playing into what the other guys pretended to be, really. And he can move the thing forward. That guy has no reason not to answer this question. Because it's not really an attack on him. It's about attack of what he represents, what he feels he represents. So that's an alright question. That was a good question.
And that's the whole point of it. What Mizzy represents is very, very bad. It's a social media persona. I'm showing you guys.
But remember that is you.
You're talking about social media. Yes, of course. That message at the start was part of the plan. I don't need to speak more further on what anything.
He really needs to stop this hand, bro. He's pissing me off. That hand. I swear you have no idea. I have a friend, and he'll tell you basically there are always small things here and there that really annoys me. I can't explain them. This one I can easily explain. This is a small thing, relatively, but I can easily explain. This guy is trying to act like he's smarter than he actually is. He keeps talking like this. It just does not work. I'm like this the whole time. The whole time. That's not how you. Oh my God! It's just adding to his image as an idiot. I swear to God. If it was a natural interview, that would have been a much better way to do it. But why he doing it like this? My God, man. He's talking about Mizzy is a separate as a character for social media, and his real self is, I can't remember the name, but that's himself. And he's this is a character, is not himself. Man,
the slight problem is when you talk about yourself in the third person, remember both of these people are you. So
I know this at the end of the day. I'm not saying this. I'm saying that social media and real life are different things.
When you turn around and go, I accept that what Mizzy does is very bad. I accept that Mizzy has upset people. I accept that Mizzy's guilty of criminality. It's literally you, right? It's literally you. Therefore, what you are basically saying is you are doing something that I've seen so many times in our modern society.
So many times. This is what I'm trying to show you guys. It's a cycle. Literally, it's a formula. Social media is a game in itself.
That's right.
You guys are playing the game, and I'm proving it right now. I'm proving it.
And you were successful at it.
I don't have to prank ever again. I don't have to prank ever again. The media has called me a prankster.
You've proved that by being narcissistic, by going on the attack, by pushing people into a road, by invading somebody's house, by upsetting your mum, who apparently doesn't even speak to you, by upsetting your sisters.
See, that's because me and my mum still speak now. It's what the media portrays, bro.
You literally told Piers.
I told Piers Morgan, and obviously ever since.
One thing, this is going crazy. One thing I actually didn't like about the Piers Morgan interview was Piers Morgan was saying, he's talking about his parents being bad. They didn't make him they didn't. What's the word? Not discipline. They didn't raise him right. I think that's what he specifically said. They didn't raise, and I didn't like that. You know, because why are you attacking his parents? You know, his parents could have been a good parents. You don't know. He just went crazy. This guy, but there's absolutely no reason. But once again, like Piers Morgan is another dumbass in the internet just for views. So it's literally it is. I didn't like him attacking. I don't know what the parents are like or whatever, but you shouldn't really attack the parents. That's just stupid. Like that was too far. But anyway.
Then, ever since then,
literally,
see, even that, let's even talk about that now. Forget everything else. Let's talk about that.
Yeah,
My mum has never spoken to press.
So are you willing?
You're saying that's made up?
Yes, that's made. Oh my days, you can even. That's made. I can call my mum right now.
I'm asking you, Mizzy, is that
My
made
mum
up?
doesn't. Yes, that's made up. My mum don't speak to media. She literally stepped out of her house and a guy took a picture of her. And then
I saw an interview where you literally said.
Racism.
So if someone is actually getting angry, like properly, they would move their hands differently. And this guy, he kept his hand like this the whole time. I don't know why he's doing it. It's really annoying me. Maybe he's just restraining himself. I don't know, but it's annoying.
Right there, though. What is that, bro?
I saw an interview where you literally said that your mum's not speaking to you and your sisters don't like everything that you do, but they still are speaking to you. Were you lying?
No, at the time, no. And it doesn't matter what I was not speaking to my mum about.
You pulled me
me and my mum are fine now.
You pulled me up on you pulled me up on an important question because the minor detail of your mum used to not speak to you, but now she does. Okay, so look.
This is today's mail.
Do you mind if I finish this question? The point is this. That what you have proved successfully is that if you go out and you behave really badly, if you go out and you waste the skills that you've got, your intelligence, your ability to dominate social media, if you use that by upsetting people, offending people, stealing, throwing people into the road, threatening people, if you do all that, you will make it to the top. You've proved that successfully. But doesn't it also mean that you've done something really bad that's going to encourage other young people to follow your lead? I tell you what annoys me about you. You're clearly a nice bloke, right? But the reality is that what you are...
Oh my god. Yo, like, there's no point even pretending anymore. Why even... Like, he obviously doesn't like him. You're obviously a nice bloke. Come on. You don't need to say that to move the interview forward. That's just dumb. Like, obviously, like I said, this guy before, like when he was saying, oh, I believe you, when he said, you know, like when you did that, you're proving racism, etc. That is moving the thing ahead, because at the time the interview was slow, or like just like flowing normally. That's fine. But now this guy is getting heated, the other guy is getting heated, and he's still saying, I know you're obviously a nice bloke. Stop bullshitting. Like, it's obviously bullshit. You don't like him. It's clear. Like, what bullshit is it, bruv? We're just...
doing here, there's going to be 1,000 young people who go out shoving people into the street, walking into people's houses, stealing people's dogs, because they don't have the intelligence.
But
and they
this
don't
has
have
been
the
done
ability.
before. This has been done before. I am the first person that has done this. It's just a formula.
Let me finish. This ain't the BBC, baby. Right, there's other people who are going to go out and follow your lead. And the reality is, I say to you, you seem like a nice bloke. I'll even buy you a pint after this.
You know, the funny thing is, though, this guy, Mizzy, what he said was completely true, you know? Them having him in here is just perpetuating the whole thing. You know, he's becoming more and more famous, he's encouraging, well, not him, they are encouraging more and more people to do what he's done, because right now he's so famous that he's in this show. You know, it's just bullshit all over, bro. I'm 100% sure this guy Mizzy, was one of the two. He's either a dumbass who did an idiotic experiment, where like just doing criminal things like an idiot, or he just did some bullshit to become famous and now he's trying to, you know, cover for it by doing all of this. One of the two things. Either way, they're dumb. And then these guys are adding to it by having him in interviews, etc., because he's becoming more and more famous, encouraging more and more people to do what he did. Even though this guy's talking bullshit like, oh, you're encouraging people, or don't you should... Bruv, you're literally helping him right now. I know it's kind of like it's funny because like if no one caught this, if he didn't do all of these interviews everywhere, if he stayed within TikTok, it might have been much smaller. I don't know if people are actually doing what he's done right now because, you know, he's going to jail, etc. But yeah, they're just adding to the problem.
But shame on you for encouraging people of lower intelligence than you to behave in this fashion. It's not a movement, it's a grotesque lump of narcissism. Is it not?
The movement is real.
What is the movement?
What is the movement? What are you trying to achieve?
We outside in the districts every time. We outside means being outside with your inner self and not letting anyone tell you nothing, because no one can tell you anything. You are your own person at the end of the day.
So the movement is basically, don't give a toss about criminality.
That guy, it feels like he has like a half an idea in his head and he doesn't know what to do with it. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, like, generally, like, my belief anyway, everything, like, all standards in the world, they're all, like, human-made, obviously. It's, like, the social norm. That's just reality. And, like, obviously, you can do whatever you want as long as it's moral. And usually, morality goes hand in hand with law. Generally, you know, because you shouldn't go into someone's house, just even if there's no law. Morally, you shouldn't walk into someone's house who hasn't invited you. You shouldn't push people. You shouldn't steal dogs. You know, that's just moral. You know, that doesn't show that you're against the system. That's just morally you shouldn't do that, regardless of the law, regardless of social norms. You know, but this guy, he has like a half an idea in his head, and he went and going crazy with it. That's what it feels like. Anyway.
Go out, do what you want. Don't get a proper job. No. Don't get a proper education. What you can be, you can be like Mizzy. You can wander around, jumping in people's houses, stealing people's dogs, pushing Jewish people into the street, threatening to kill people. Who cares? What's it?
Why is it Jewish people? What does that have to? Did that guy specifically say I'm pushing this Jewish guy into the wall, into the street? I don't know. I don't think Jewish has anything to do with it. Anyway.
Matter. You can go to prison for a couple of days, even though you have the intelligence to never need to go to prison. You can go to prison for a couple of days, pay the fine, offend your family. Who gives a toss?
The UK laws are weak. The UK laws are weak. The UK laws are weak. Simple as.
Well, they can't do it weak because you're now being punished for what's happened. Do you know what? I saw a clip when you came out of the prison, and I think I saw a different guy, because I think we
have that clip.
I think you do genuinely have remorse.
You saw a different guy because I got cloned.
No, I think we saw someone who did.
Wait, what? What is he talking about? Maybe he has schizophrenia, possibly. I don't know.
We know the prisons are.
Well, the truth is, the way I see about it, these guys of your age doing a hell of a lot worse, and it might not be on TikTok, and it might not be for clicks and for likes, but there are. This is you being released now.
How was prison?
How was prison? There's nothing to glorify about, but obviously because of the position I'm in, a lot of people do know me anyway. So when I went there, people were coming up to me, just supporting me, saying, "Oh, this, that, and the other, like I'm a fan of you."
Oh, so no, hang on a second, Reem. I'm not being funny, but for a guy of your intelligence, the accolade of being the most popular lag on D-Wing is hardly. It's hardly like.
It's literally. I'm not. Like I said, I don't glorify it.
Can I ask you another question, Mizzy? Mizzy, on a serious note, are you currently in receipt of benefits?
Yes.
So actually, you're working and receiving benefits at the same time. Are you a benefits fraudster?
No.
So what is your justification for saying you're not a benefits fraudster?
You don't work.
No, hang on a second. TikTok's a business.
Yeah, but I don't work.
Okay, how much do you earn off TikTok?
I don't have a TikTok account. I've been banned.
Okay.
I don't earn
money. So where
did this question come from? Maybe something related to something else. I don't know.
Whilst you're working, hang on. Whilst you're working for TikTok, making money, were you claiming benefits at that point?
No, because I was under 18.
Okay.
Shut down. Simple.
He was. What an idiot! Oh my god, the question came out of nowhere, and he got shut down so easily. That's hilarious. I'm happy with that happened, to be honest. Because that guy, like, he's talking like he's self-righteous, you know, like, it's just, like, it pisses me off as well. This guy pisses me off for another reason, but the interviewer is actually pissing me off as well. Like, self-righteousness for no reason.
It was a question.
Mizzy, I've got a question for you. So I know you've spoken a lot about social media and how that's impacted you, and that you want to sort of get a lot of this attention on social media yourself. Do you think that you doing this on social media will encourage other people to commit crimes that potentially could cause a lot of damage? But by damage, I mean it could cause somebody to, be incredibly injured or something like that. Do you think you've encouraged that kind of behaviour? and he's not answering the question. Do you think
I don't understand this whole...
Do you want to be like a good man?
Hey, no, hang on a second. You can do that to me, you're not doing it to a guest. You stare at another guest again, and I'm going to personally remove you. I'm not taking the mick. You glared at her in a threatening fashion. You do that, I'll drag you out by the hair, and you can be as hard as you pretend you are. You apologise to her right now, or you're leaving.
You know I respect you, but I'm done here.
Good riddance to bad rubbish. Threatening guests does not happen on my show under any circumstances. Reem, I'm very sorry, but the way he glared at you is not acceptable. We never should have had him on the show. I didn't even want him here. I think the guy's a complete and total fool. And the fact that...
I'm not sure if he needs to be that angry about this. Obviously, like I've seen, like he did the same thing to him earlier, which is annoying, and he might be threatening as well. She might have felt threatened. That's fine, you know, like he can push him. But I don't know. This feels like over dramatic. It feels like he's doing it because he just lost about that benefit thing. Oh my god. Anyway,
the fact that
and plus, he said he doesn't even want him to be here. That's bullshit. That's his show, isn't it? I don't know. I'm assuming this is his show. But anyway, yeah, like if he's the interviewer anyway, it's bullshit. You know, this show, I'm assuming it's the same as what's it called, Piers Morgan, where they bring like popular people now kind of thing, and obviously they want views. And this guy is popular where he was at this time. Was it like 6 months ago? I didn't even want him to be. Obviously, like writers and stuff, like they have like ideas and they can make up like the show, but you can decide to interview him or not. You know, and he was making fun of his interview with Piers Morgan earlier, so he obviously knows about him and he wants to. He wants to interview him. Don't bullshit, please.
Tempted to have a sensible interview with an idiot like that is absolutely disgusting.
Get him out of there.
Security, get the security from downstairs and get rid of him. Get rid of him, for Christ's sake.
Do you know what?
Get rid of him.
He's angry.
Oh my god. Anyway, like I think I said whatever I wanted to say throughout the whole thing. Otherwise, like I need to stop. Otherwise, it's gonna be way too long. But yeah, that guy's an idiot. Like I said, he's either woefully misguided on whatever he wants to do. If he's actually wanting to convey a message, he's doing it in an idiotic way. Second, the interviewer obviously want him to be there. Like it's an obvious kind of... It kind of helped the point he was bringing, you know what I mean? Obviously, like I said, that guy, I'm pretty sure he just started doing all that to become famous. And then he used this as an excuse because of all that shit that happened. You know, he's using excuses that I meant to do that because he highlights racism or he highlights how social media is bad, etc. You know, it fits the narrative easily because obviously now he's being interviewed by Piers Morgan, by this guy, and you know, like he's becoming more and more famous because of the idiotic things he did. You know, it works to what he was saying about social media. So it might be that was his purpose, but he's doing it like in a stupid way. That's just bad for everyone. Anyway, I'm talking too much. I'm repeating everything I said. But anyway, whoever watches this, if there's anyone watching this, I hope you like this, and just let me know what you think about this guy and just generally social media in the comments below. I don't know how many people are gonna watch this, of course, but yeah, obviously what I'm doing here kind of works to his advantage as well. I'm making him. Obviously, there's not gonna be too many people watching this, but I'm contributed to his fame, I guess, you know. But I don't know. I hope like people who watch this understand the point of watching something like this. It's just to show his. It's just man. Anyway, peace.